Hello Internet, and hello VOD watchers. Welcome back to Nier Replicant mini numbers. I am just gonna chill here for a few minutes until more people come on. If you'll remember, last time we got all the fragments. So now all we have to do is go back to the village, see if Popola can steer us in the right direction to getting to the Shadowlord's castle lair. I shouldn't assume that it's a castle, but I mean that's what the soundtrack calls it. Anyway, just gonna chill here for a minute, enjoy our party members walking around or floating around in some cases like weirdos. It's fine. I miss Dad Nier's really goofy double jump. He's just like, he thrusts his chest out in midair for some reason. Ifufu, hi! Thanks for tuning in, bud. I appreciate it. We're nearing. We're getting our Nier on. Yeah. Yeah, same. The soundtrack is really good. One of my faves.
This is the last of them.
Now we can find the Shadowlord. And Yona.
We certainly can.
Hold on, Yona. I'm almost there.
Yes, thanks, Nier. I think we have to go back to the village first to fill in Popola. Maybe? It's been a hot minute since I've done this. Yeah, we're going back to the village first. Just gotta go down some ladders. The shades down there are angry. They can wait their dang turn. Alright. Y'all asked for it. I was gonna ignore you. I was gonna ignore y'all, but you just had to shoot bullets at me. You brought this upon yourselves. Hiya! Alright, so y'all stop being helpful, please. I can't hit the dang things. You! This gear is just so fun. Alright. Nothing else in our way. It's very hard not to hum along to the soundtrack. I don't want to be that person. I must resist. Oh, that's interesting.
I marvel at how relatively simple a task this retrieval process proved to be. It is almost as if someone deliberately set us on this path.
You're overthinking again, Vice.
But...
I don't care if it's a trap. Yona's waiting for me and I'm going.
I see.
There's that patented Nier stubbornness. let's check the boss trophy room one last time before we head out. Or before we go talk to Popola.
We killed this jerk in the junk heap.
It was a fearsome foe, but under this environment it looks almost charming.
That is P-33, which we fought last time.
A wolf figurine?
And this is Rock.
A very fine construction, I would add.
And that's it. I think this is as full as the boss trophy room is gonna get.
Why would Popola be collecting figurines of the shades we defeated?
That is a good question. Kinda weird. Oh well. Oh, Popola. And Devola, apparently. What's up?
You're really gonna do it? The whole village is buzzing, you know. They say you're gonna go rescue Yona. I guess it's really happening, huh?
I'll bring her back. I promise.
About that.
Yeah?
Nothing. Never mind. Popola just loves to worry. Anyway, you be careful. Yes, do be careful.
Thanks.
Please be careful.
She seems all hesitant. That's weird.
Be careful, alright?
Wonder what that's about. I'm sure it's nothing. Anyway, I want to go save real quick before we head to the Shadowlord's lair. Which means we gotta... Yeah, we gotta fast travel to the Lost Shrine. Handy dandy save point. Oh, I will. Careful is my middle name. It's not, but, you know. Cadenza, be careful internet person. You know how it is.
Oh there, getting on?
Take me to the shrine, please.
Are we ready?
Let's all make it back alive, okay?
It's a plan.
Hell yeah, Emil. Let's go. Off to the final dungeon. I need to get like a little table or something so I can prop my mic up on it. Because right now I've only got... I'm having to like use a chair. These big armored guys are so annoying. They have an unfortunate tendency to block a lot of my attacks. You can block all you want, but I can button mash more. Hiya! Fear my mighty axe. What's that guy doing? Oh, he's shooting bullets. Whatever. Yeah, alright, Jerkwad. You know what? Not worth it. I'm just gonna climb up this ladder. I'm gonna put my Phoenix Spear back on. You know, I'm just gonna keep this thing on. It's faster than the big boy swords anyway. Just gonna ignore that guy. Y'all handle it. Now, come on. You are really starting to annoy me, dude. Ah, damn it. That's fine. Persistent jerkwads. I forgot I had my Dark World, I forget what the actual name is. The Dark Saw Blades. Duh. Alright. Heading straight to the top. Whilst eerie music plays. It's not ominous at all. It's like the third time in this playthrough we've had to climb all the way up to the top of the tower. I was trying, I should say. That's fine. Excuse you. Thank you. Oh good, a mini-boss. Ow. Dare you. And that's that. At least it seems like I don't have to solve these block puzzles again. Which, thank goodness for that. They weren't exactly the most riveting thing the first time around, so... Oh, the soundtrack's getting excited. Oh yeah, let's go. fuse? Oh, you're on the outside, I guess. Whatever. Not bothered with it. Charge up my murder saws real quick. Nice. That was not the way forward. Open up this dang thing 3 times. I think I would know my way around by now. Alright, hold on a second. There we go. Yeah. Rude. Just trying to charge up my murder sauce, thanks. Also, I didn't want to talk over the music. Oops. Alright. No, stop. Nier, come on. Cooperate with me here. What are you doing? I just wanted to jump down the ladder. Jeez. Alright. We have business with a Shadowlord. Come on out, buddy.
Such an ominous sight. And yet I find it strangely nostalgic.
Yeah. This is where Weiss and I first met. And first fought together.
Wow! This is where you used to live, Weiss?
Well, yes, I suppose. In a technical sense.
Pretty nice digs for a floating magazine.
At least it was free from annoying hussies like yourself.
Alright, point of no return.
And now, the path is open.
An elevator. Fancy that. I love this track so much. Kind of an unexpected environment for the final boss's lair, huh? What's this about?
To whom does the true voice speak?
I beg pardon?
To whom does the true form show itself? You must answer.
It can talk!
I ask, why did humans disappear from the world?
The hell is this?
I believe this is some manner of password.
Password?
Yes. The correct answer should grant us access to the castle. I feel confident I have heard this somewhere before. To whom does the true voice speak? To whom does the true form show itself? I ask, why did humans disappear from the world? You must answer. I answer, because their lives are short.
Well, that didn't work.
Blast. I appear to have made an error.
Whoops.
Why did you must... I answer, because of a black disease. I ask, how can humans extend their lives? I answer, by separating body from soul. I ask, what is the destination of souls? I answer, they are placed in their corresponding shells. Very well. You are acknowledged as master. You may enter. Well then, it seems the way is open.
Kind of a weird set of questions, though, huh? Oh, sick. Yep, that's pretty good, alright. Not as good as the spear, but I'm happy to take it. What are you two doing here?
It's the twins from your village.
Popola? Devola? What are you doing here?
Yeah, what he said.
Hey, any chance you'll just go back to the village? This is a very dangerous place. Even if you can find Yona here, you probably can't get her out.
How did you get here?
Shh. We're asking the questions right now.
What are you two doing here?
I'm not going to answer that. You can figure it out yourself.
So, fun fact, if you pick this option, you can turn right around and go back out into the wider world and do side quests and stuff if you want to. But if you pick this, that really is the point of no return and you're locked into the endgame. Having said that...
We're here to rescue Yona.
No dice, huh? Well, I guess we don't have a choice then. No, I suppose not. How sad. We didn't want to fight you. We really didn't want to.
Devola! What's happening?
Sorry, but this fate was predetermined. Still, we spoke to truth. We really wanted to avoid this if possible. We were hoping to put it off for 100 years or so, until the next generation came along.
What are you talking about?
Are they shades?
I don't think so.
It's a lie. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're on about, but they do seem to be trying to kill us, so... Man, they don't take any...
I you'd grow to be this powerful.
This is madness. Why do you block our path?
You have no cause to speak so with us, Grimoire Weiss. You are a traitor.
Excuse me? Y'all are talking nonsense.
What now? They copied my powers.
Ah, shit on a shingle. They can use the sealed verses.
Oh, good.
Of course we can. The power came from us in the first place.
Oh.
You were simply loaned a small portion of it.
Weiss, are you all right?
Devola, Popola, why are you guys doing this? Why are you siding with the Shades?
I did not think things would be going to hell in a handbasket this soon into the final dungeon, but here we are. Ow. Wow, that punch is surprisingly hard to dodge, actually.
Why?
The answer to every riddle lies within the heart of the Shadowlord.
The Shadowlord? So you've been on his side this whole time?
You must search for that answer yourself. You've got to face your own truth now. Please, enter the Shadowlord's castle.
This
Devola
is-
and Popola are fighting us.
Less than ideal.
Yes, they do seem to be putting us through a great deal of...
You okay, Weiss?
How odd. For long years, my mind and tongue have been my greatest assets. But now the latter seems to be... Hell,
Weiss?
do not look at me like that. I am Grimoire Weiss. I am perfectly...
Oh, jeez, dude. You don't sound so hot at all.
I think I hear a waltz.
Pardon? Huh, he's right. I don't remember this part.
It certainly is a grand affair.
Bunch of dancing bastards.
Oh,
They're
hell.
all Shades!
I think we're locked in!
It's not like I was planning to leave.
Yeah, it's a bit late for that.
These dudes are jerks. You can stop that now, please, and thank you. These guys are jerks. You gotta be way more cautious with them. Get dumped on. Thanks for the boots. There are a lot of them too. Nice try it, jerkwad. Ow. Get out of the way. That should just keep me safe from the bullets that are happening from off screen. Alright. Settle down. Shit. Alright, I should get rid of this nerd first. Wait your dang turn. Get back here.
Damn it! They won't stop coming!
I'll open the next door. Cover me.
Good enough.
How I do love a good...
Twice!
Oh, right. Protect the hussy, yes? Good plan. Let's go.
Protect Kainé for us!
Come on. Come on.
Kainé! Hurry!
It's not open yet?
Do I look like a goddamn locksmith to you?
No, you idiot. What are you doing?
Lock doesn't want to open? Fine. I'll just break it down.
Oh yeah,
You
Kainé.
impatient fool.
Goddamn no good bullshit bastard! Open the fuck up already! Ugh! Got it.
Kainé, look out!
Are they? These things are freaking me out! Kainé! What's wrong?
We need to help Kainé!
You okay?
Yeah, but we got problems.
She big.
We don't need forgiveness, asshole.
Kainé?
What? Oh, she's on that. Just trying to stay out of this thing's way. What did I just say?
How should I know?
Kainé, are you alright?
I'm fine. Let's just kill some shit.
Fair enough.
Damn shit. Oh dear.
Uh-oh. Huh? No. Somehow I dodged that. Gotta break off its armor. Ow! Huh? Excuse you? Oh, this isn't good.
This thing?
Doesn't seem like it.
That fog. Oh no!
We can't stop now. Damn it.
Stay
Come on.
focused, Kainé. Don't fall victim to such distractions.
Come on! We have to keep going!
Let's go! This way! Move!
Don't have to tell me twice. Whew. What's this? Dragoons, huh? Well, it's not nearly as good as the Phoenix Spear, so I'll pass, but thanks.
Up here!
Oh, no!
Deal with this thing.
Please, hurry!
Ow. Oh, Jesus. Alright, that was just an instant death. Fair enough, I guess. Do I get dropped off here at least? I get dropped off here at least. Okay, good.
Up here!
Working on it, Emil.
How can we deal with this thing?
Run faster.
Please, hurry!
Run faster. Go, 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 go. Yikes. Whew.
Damn it, I can't get it open!
Oh, good.
Attack incoming!
The entrance is locked too!
It seems we are in a bit of a predicament.
Understatement. Doing this again. The cavalry is here. Alright, let's go.
What are you doing here?
You are correct.
What?
Alright, where are you?
Hey! Stop! Let me go! Stop it! Damn it! King, no! No! Open the door! You can't fight that thing on your own! Open the damn door!
Knock it off already. Let's go.
Kainé.
He's fighting for you. And for Fira. Don't let him die for nothing.
Damn it, Kainé, how dare you be correct? At least they're giving us plenty of healing items. Kainé supremacy, yes. Here at Cadenza's Streaming Fun Times, we are Kainé stands. God, this is a really good arrangement of Emil's theme. This rearranged soundtrack bangs, and the original one already was really good. Oh good, the twins are here.
Devola! Popola!
Oh, look. You made it. We've been waiting for so long.
Why are you doing this?
It began 1300 years ago. Humanity, finding itself on the brink of extinction, undertook a last-ditch rescue plan called Project Gestalt.
Gestalt?
Do you still not remember, Grimoire Weiss? Then let's give you a refresher.
Obtained Project Gestalt documents. Which we will read later, I'm sure.
Weiss! My mind. I remember. Devola. Popola. You are not human. In fact... Oh no.
Yeah, sometimes the truth can be a real bitch. You want to finish that thought for him, sister? All of us, every person standing in this room, are mere shells created by the true humans.
What are you saying?
You still don't get it? You aren't human.
So then humans, I mean, the true humans, are extinct?
No. They still live on. You know them as shades. Each shade is a twisted remnant of what was once a human being.
Crazy, huh? Now let's skip the part where you stand there with your mouths agape and just get down to business.
Wait.
Sorry, but we're gonna be needing that shell of yours. The rightful owner has been waiting for a very long time. Please don't be angry with us. We are only doing our duty. Our endless existences have a single purpose: to control the lives of others in accordance with the will of the true humans. You have your own motives, your own desires. And we have ours. I fear it really is just that simple.
Don't speak such foolishness.
Sorry.
No time to digest that bombshell. They're gonna kill us.
You and us, we're the same. Tools in the hands of a master.
No. I'm nothing like you.
We can't attack the twin on the stage. She's part of the background technically, so we gotta fight this one. And it's hard to tell up close which one is which. Especially since we're both with the same voice actor. Man, this remix of their theme is really good, huh? What? You can't instantly dodge cancel out of your combo. You gotta kind of prepare it in advance, which can make dodging attacks kind of hard sometimes.
Popola, are you crying?
No! Don't die!
You know, Popola, I understand now why we're twins. It's because we were born without souls. Devola, I can't stop the bleeding. Oh God, I can't stop it. This world is too lonely for one without a soul. There's too much emptiness. Our souls are missing. And yet somehow our tears still work. It's kind of weird. Sorry, sis. I love you. Devola! Devola! Don't you go!
Popola. Let's stop this now.
Stop? Stop? Now you want to stop? You think you have the luxury to stop? You cut down my sister like a goddamn animal and now you want to stop? Popola, wait! It doesn't have to— No one stops! It's way too late to stop! No one stops!
Please, don't do this, Popola! You and Devola were like parents to me!
Those two have watched the world wither for time immemorial. The cruelness of such a fate is difficult to imagine.
I don't want to do this! I don't want to fight her!
Stop bitching and start fighting! It's the only way!
No stopping ever!
The bridge!
Blast! We're trapped!
I've got an idea!
I fear we're done for.
It'll be all right.
Huh?
You know, when I was young, I hated my eyes. And now that I'm older, I hate what my body has become. But there's something else there now. Something like pride, you know? I mean, without all this, I couldn't have become your friend. Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for everything.
Emil!
For so long, all I could do was destroy. But now, I have a chance to save something.
No!
Now get going, okay?
Emil!
Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine.
Emil! Emil!
Emil! You jackass, get back here! Emil!
Oh dear. Kainé's so unstable, and Vice can't stop arguing with people. I hope they can hold it together once I'm gone. Well, I guess they'll just have to learn. I want to see you again. I want to see all of you again. Just one more time. to die.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Why don't we read some documents first, huh? Project Gestalt Report 0923. As noted in the previous report, implementation of Gestalt mode can prevent the white chlorination syndrome we recently experienced. Transfer of bodily information to civilization-repressed replicants is proceeding as planned, with the genes of the original safely stored inside. Our role as surveillance androids to prepare for when the incurable bacterial disease eventually dies out is also underway. So far, this is proceeding without issue. Observer 021, codename Popola. Report 9182. This document discusses potential strategies for the relapse cases we have observed in recent years. The term relapse, of course, refers to the catastrophic loss of sentience seen in certain gestalts. This syndrome has defied even our most pessimistic initial estimates and continues to trend upward with disturbing speed. With some relapsed gestalts beginning to attack replicants, there is an urgent need to take comprehensive action. We remain convinced that an unknown technological defect in the Gestalt transformation process is responsible for the condition, but so far have been unable to confirm this theory. Research of this condition is now our top priority and looks likely to continue for some time. Observer 022, codename Devola. Report 10432. Shorthand minutes of Case 23, Emergency Response Conference, Committee Special Meeting. Issue: observed upward trend in relapses, noted and discussed. Issue: acceleration of restoration schedule, approved. Report: debate over using codename Noir for human restoration schedule. Report: preparations to launch Vice decoding system for above. Report: Order collection of guidance and release code for Nier alongside Vice launch. Project Gestalt Report 1.1.242. We have determined that the rise of relapses was due to an unexpected spike in the sentience of replicants, as well as a genetic instability within the original Gestalt. It seems the original's effect on bodies that have undergone the Gestalt process was not anticipated in advance. Immediate action must be undertaken to identify the links between this trend and the original Gestalt, along with its sister, the relapsed case known as Yona. The observer contact group is growing uneasy, so finding a solution to the relapse issue should be considered a top priority. See other reports for more details. So yeah, that's most of the rest of the backstory. I don't think these documents were in the original version of this game. I also don't know if they're going to go fully into detail about this later, but just in case they don't. So, on the original Drakengard, its final ending, ending E, has the protagonist, Kaim, and his dragon, Angelus, get transported to Tokyo, somehow, where they fight the leader of the Watchers, which is this whole extra-dimensional, horrible god thing. I don't have time to get into it. So they kill it, but they're then shot down by the Japanese Air Defense Force. And since they were all from a dimension where magic existed and our world did not have magic, that caused this whole thing called White Chlorination Syndrome, which basically turbo murders anybody that catches it, and there is no cure. So, desperate to stop this, the remaining governments of the world created Project Gestalt to, like, separate people's souls from their bodies until they could find a cure for this, but they never did. And so the original bodies became shades, and the souls got transferred into replicants. But nobody expected the replicants to gain sentience of their own and become their own people, which kind of threw a wrench into the whole thing. And then, well, you know the rest of what happens, basically. It's, a lot of bad stuff happened. Largely outside of our protagonist's control. I should probably go up a little bit. So, we're killing people right now, basically. Oh, I gotta put this back on. Thank you, I tried my best. Excuse me. It's the Shadowlord's theme. One of my favorite final boss tunes ever.
Yona! This ends here!
Strike hard. Hold nothing back.
You don't have to tell me twice.
How can a mere tool hope to stand against the Shadowlord?
Don't speak in such a
Shut up,
manner,
you guys,
fool.
Lord.
I am nothing like you.
Be careful!
I know!
It's weird, I remember a much longer preamble cutscene in the original version of this game. Maybe they moved that to after the fight. Could be the case. Regardless, I gotta watch out. Seems like this dude doesn't flinch much from my combos.
Vice, you alright?
Naturally, I am as fit as a bit.
You don't sound so hot.
Wait. Brother?
Yona. Huh?
Please, just stop. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't need someone else's body. I don't want it. There's another girl inside this body. I can hear her. She won't stop crying. She says she wants to see her brother.
Yona's been possessed?
This girl loves her brother too, just as much as I do. It's not right, you know? It's not right that she can't see him. It's you, isn't it?
it's me. Let's go home.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what to... I'm so very sorry. No matter what. Just know that... I love you.
Hurry. The shade that possessed her is gone.
Kainé, watch over Yoda for me.
Alright, time to finish it off.
Your sadness. You think I'm gonna sympathize with you? I swore to protect my sister and my friends. If someone puts them in danger, they must stand aside or be cut down. Now come on! Let's finish this!
Oh, Nier. Your stubbornness is literally going to make humanity extinct.
Vice, what's wrong?
You're freaking me out here, Vice.
What are you doing? Got some... do it! Strike the killing blow!
Working on it.
No bother. One moment, please.
You okay?
Fine, just fine. Alright, no, I'm not.
Vice,
It seems some headstrong idiot has decided to push me beyond my limits. I should have taken that job as a cookbook when I had the chance.
Vice, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Only joking. I hate cookbooks.
But
Let's go. Out of the way. I have one final task to fulfill.
where are you going?
Why, to stop him, of course. But after that, it's up to you. Only you can see this battle to its conclusion. I wish you luck, my friend.
You can't. I swore I'd always fight by your side.
You are an exceedingly stubborn lad. You know that, yes? Perhaps that's why I've so enjoyed our time together. But I fear this is where our journey ends.
Vice!
Oh, and remember what I told you about using my full name? Well, forget it. I've grown rather fond of Vice.
Vice. I knew you'd come around.
Don't let it go to your head now.
I have something to defend. I have a reason to live. Shadowlord.
Didn't want to talk during that. Seemed inappropriate. Well, we did it. Final boss is dead. I will go into detail later on just why exactly that is extremely bad for the world at large.
Is Yona all right? Oh God, no.
Oh, please, the girl is fine.
Weiss? Where are you? Are you okay?
I am as well as can be, considering I have lost my physical form. Doubtless my voice will be the next to go, so listen closely. Your sister is safe. Do not mourn her, and do not give up hope. Instead, you must call her back to you.
How?
Use your memories. Recall the times you spent with her. Present her with proof that the two of you live still, and that your lives have meaning.
I don't know.
Typical. But take heart. I know you can do it.
What's my favorite food? Cookies. What's my favorite book? That's my magic storybook. What's my favorite place? Home with you. What's my favorite flower? The lunar tear, of course. Okay, one more question. Who do I love more than anyone?
Well then, I think we can answer this.
Is that you?
Yona.
Is this my body?
Yes, Yona. It's yours and yours alone.
You look bigger than before. Like you've grown up.
Well, yeah. I guess you haven't seen me for a while.
Have I been asleep this whole time?
Something like that.
It's almost like I'm a princess from some fairy tale.
Oh, Yona. I'm so happy to have you back.
Me too.
Kainé.
You and your sister, you have a good life, Kay?
Where are you gonna go?
Guess I'll...
You could stay with us, you know.
Thanks, but I'll pass. You know how it is. I got my own shit to take care of.
What do you mean?
Personal shit, alright? Anyway, take it easy, yeah?
Kainé.
Hey, look. It's beautiful. For the longest time, I heard someone telling me how they wanted to see the light. And now, they can finally see it. I love it. It's so sunny today.
Yeah, it sure is.
This ending theme is called Ashes of Dreams. It is sung in 4 different languages. This first one is in English. I will be quiet so you can hear the rest of it.
Be
That took about an hour. That is not all that Nier Replicant Lots of Numbers has to offer. See, there's more than one ending. And we, of course, are going to get all of them over the course of this stream series. Because you gotta know the full story, obviously.
Whenever I interacted with Kainé, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway...
Kainé's dreams. Discrimination. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour, and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. Weird adjective choice there, but okay. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on! The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo! Kainé! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kainé struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kainé's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kainé turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kainé knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to the sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kainé was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak! Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong. Be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt... Oh look, the little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kainé prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kainé couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. That's gross. The boy grabbed Kainé's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kainé, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys. Let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kainé. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kainé curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kainé ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. They continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak! Chanted the children. Freak! 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 Kainé closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell. But the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kainé was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying! Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kainé. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was wrapped on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kainé again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand of Demo. Gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch! A big one! That thing could have killed me! The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kainé, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here, either of you! Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Dio and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Look at the fat boy go! Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kainé. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kainé, she said. Why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kainé, and she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. As Kainé's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kainé found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kainé. You know because you survived it. As the words hit home, Kainé was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kainé called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kainé and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kainé truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kainé's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not. Don't be an ass. Kainé drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't... Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you, and if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kainé's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kainé want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh! These are lunar tears! Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kainé reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kainé to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kainé's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kainé blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. As long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. Kainé took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kainé gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kainé stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kainé let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Oh, we're doing all of these, okay. God, I hope my mouth doesn't give out. My voice, I should say. In the distance, Kainé heard the steady sound of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe! Kainé's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. Grandma, called Kainé. That you, Kainé? yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. "Don't get too close, or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake." She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kainé close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she'd scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, "Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something." The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. "Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards." Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kainé knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kainé did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kainé knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kainé moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kainé enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kainé turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kainé swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it! Crap! She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. This is tough, and my logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kainé redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing her rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. "Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice if you..." Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. And a car just went by my house. Eyes wide, Kainé dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. "Grandma!" The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. "Get the bucket. Can't let it spill." Kainé steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kainé didn't notice. "Grandma? Grandma, what's happening?" Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kainé away. "Stop that! Just stop!" she cried, breathing heavily. "It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all." Kainé desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kainé was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kainé came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. "Grandma, you're sick, and you need medicine. I'm going to the village." The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kainé gently pushed her down. "It's all right," she said. "I'll be fine." Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. "Well, I don't like it, goddammit. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up." The old woman watched as Kainé strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kainé moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kainé finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kainé took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kainé's presence. Hey, lady, said Kainé with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me, they seemed to say. But Kainé saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kainé repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right, before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kainé cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. I mean, what are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kainé happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Huh, barked Demo. That old bitch finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo! The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head. But before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kainé under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kainé a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kainé turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kainé didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kainé and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw. Kainé took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village and word travels quickly. Word travels. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Kali, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Kali? Thought Kainé suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, he said as Kainé scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kainé murmured a quick agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kainé returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kainé to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. "Back already, are you?" asked her grandmother with a yawn. "Come here, let me have a look at you." Grandma sat up and examined Kainé from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. "Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble?" "It was kind of fun," said Kainé with a small smile. "No, seriously, it was." "Fun, eh?" asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. "Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know." As she spoke, Kainé removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. "A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone." "But Grandma, it'll make you live forever." "Horseshit," said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. "Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help with dinner." But Kainé would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house as if posing for a master artist. Kainé took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kainé finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. "It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all." "I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something." The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. "Let me be the judge of that," she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman had stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. "Oh, Kainé," she said between laughter. "You truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it." "But..." "Hush. I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always." True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kainé would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kainé could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. "Posh!" said the old woman. "I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud." She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kainé and dropped to one knee. "Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness." There was a moment that burned itself in Kainé's memory. A perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of a life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kainé swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. One more, I think? I hope. My voice is starting to get a little tired. Kainé listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. "Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug." The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. "It's no bug, you fool girl. It's a berry." "Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs?" "Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug," said Kainé, "and I think it's burnt or something because it smells terrible." With that, Kainé held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. "Oh yeah, that's terrible, all right." "Why, you little brat," laughed the old woman. "Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact." 5 years had passed since the moment when Kainé's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, the relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kainé could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kainé started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kainé lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. "Where are you going today?" asked Grandma suddenly. Kainé looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. "Well, I was going to check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow." "Flagstones? What in the hell for?" Kainé stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. "Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection." The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. "God damn, girl. If a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway." "I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday." The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. "Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other—" "Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelma trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that." A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. "Yes," she said after a bit. "Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kainé. Lately it seems my mind is—" She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the jar. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kainé thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. "You're gonna be a true woman soon," Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. "So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls and more talk about how beautiful you've become." Annoyed, Kainé reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. "You're a beautiful thing," said the old woman, "and there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you." "Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from?" "Gee, I wonder." "I'll teach you to sass me, girl," yelled Grandma. Suddenly, she lurched forward and grabbed Kainé by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. "Grandma!" yelled Kainé in a quaking voice. "Grandma, stop it! What the hell?" The old woman stared at her and blinked, and slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just..." Kainé thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. "Listen," she began. "Maybe I should stay home after all." "No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot, I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you." Kainé rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kainé could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, she told herself, but in the end the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look and saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut, with a sad expression on her face. God, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kainé worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kainé pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing a path with a finger, Kainé suddenly felt her stomach nod in on itself. No. Oh gods, no! Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma? Grandma! Kainé ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kainé's mind began to race in time with the footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark. Not just fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt, her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kainé, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kainé responded with a scream of her own. "Alright, you bastard," she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. "It's you or me, let's go!" The shade eyed Kainé with bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kainé glanced toward the house. Through the smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. "Grandma!" At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. "She's alive!" thought Kainé. "Alive!" Kainé's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kainé tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up. Get up! Get up, get up, get up, up now! As Kainé struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kainé lurched to her feet, only to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. "Grandma! Hold on! Just a little longer." Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kainé pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness. The distance seemed to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. "Bastard! Laughing at us!" She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt the shade was taking joy in their suffering. "Yeah, I see your plan." The shade moved its claw slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kainé was close enough to touch her. "I'm gonna kill this bastard." Summoning all her strength, Kainé rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backward, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. "Give her back!" she screamed. "Give her back to me!" It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, and raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kainé never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. Kainé? Kainé's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma? Kainé, you gotta run. You can't. Best this one. Kainé grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on. We have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kainé's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no. No! I said run, goddammit. You have to live. You have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from the gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible, putrid smell assaulted Kainé's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kainé blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kainé's mind, one after the other, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kainé screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept toward its prey. Kainé's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles, her head lolled dangerously to the side. Yet somehow, she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kainé seized the moment. Laughing like a madwoman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kainé off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No. Can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kainé's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Etc. Etc. Kill it now! As the spark that was Kainé slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer. Fucking finally.
The beast approaches.
Oh, I know.
Okay, gotta kill this thing real quick. Just...
What anger this creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today.
Oh yeah.
My sword feels so lighter.
hands, not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down!
Get dunked on, please, and thank you. Alrighty. Another one. Alrighty. Gently. Weakly. Softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kainé tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought of the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. I want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kainé and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kainé opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop! No, don't hurt that picture! Kainé reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely in the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture into the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kainé turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now! She looks just like you! I look like that? Oh God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kainé laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kainé wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish? Like a prayer or something? Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me! Save me! Kainé finally resorted to shouting the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse. A freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh god, you are the best! Kainé glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet, and then began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kainé tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, Sunshine. You're ready to give up. Ready to die. So why not let me have it? Have what? Your body! Come on, give it to me. Give it to me! I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people! I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood, just like before! In response, Kainé shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you... a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kainé was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kainé's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Ah, what the hell, Sunshine? Screamed the voice. We had a deal! I thought you wanted to die! Grandma said... Can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kainé glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern, the pattern of the shades, burn itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, Sunshine. I think you and me are gonna be good friends now. Kainé stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Stop. Gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Kainé took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. Hate's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood, then go out there and... Shut up! Shut up and get the hell out of my body! Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kainé grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kainé screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. Stupid idiot girl! You're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed? Whispered Kainé, Yeah, possessed. You and me? We got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now! Kainé looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow. Darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you? That big old shade that squashed your granny? We'll wrap them up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, said Kainé. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What, you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. Kainé considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me? We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kainé. I'll handle the killing. Screamed the voice. Look at you go! Oh, Sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyran, and if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kainé found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyran. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyran. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body, but if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, Sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kainé herself. Kainé waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. It feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I am not a shade. I am Kainé. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, Garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kainé started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kainé fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn and the people of the area rose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive! Stay alive! Stay alive!
Grandma.
Kainé, you gotta live! You gotta come back to us!
Oh, hey. You were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kainé.
Welcome back, Kainé.
Wow. You grew up. So, how long has it been?
I still miss the
5
wow,
years.
you look like shit line, but I'll live with it.
Shit. That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadowlord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Kainé waking from her long, petrified sleep. Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devola and Popola had to go and ruin it all.
Oh, buddy, you have no idea.
Are you kidding me? You can't be serious!
Please, try to understand. People are tired and scared, and... I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it!
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kainé saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me. As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kainé?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But...
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
What is the matter?
Kainé always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
I didn't get much sleep that night. For the first time in my life, I hated Devola. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devola and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad.
Oh, buddy, you have no idea.
Because I never once stopped to think about Kainé and Emil's situation myself. I should apologize to Kainé and Emil. But what good would that even do?
I got a fire going, Kainé.
Wait, is that...
Campfires are weird. I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kainé.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid, before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got, she gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay. Can we just forget I told you about that?
April 5th. Whenever I read a letter from Nier, I really feel like I need to see him again.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devola and Popola.
Very well.
So obviously New Game Plus has a few differences in comparison to the normal game.
What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
Oh, whoops.
I have not heard you speak much about your mother.
She got the Black Scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here. Take a look.
Oh, I don't want to do this right now. I don't want to do this right now, no! I was gonna save this for later. We definitely don't have time to do this on the stream.
Say there. Can you not hear me?
No! Pay no attention! Ah, jeez.
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now, there's the door.
Right. Let's go.
Yes, please. Pay no attention to any of that. We'll deal with it later. Okay.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
Anyway, as I was saying, so New Game Plus, we start in the second half of the game, which means we can no longer access the first half on this save file. We would have to start entirely over if we wanted to do that. So we get new story scenes and such, and we have the wait, and if we beat the game again, we will get a different ending. But, perhaps most crucially, now that we have been made aware of Tyran's existence, we can understand the Shades. Not any of the characters in-game, but us, the player. And that will,
Hey.
we'll see how that plays out.
Oh, hi. I kinda thought you'd never talk to us again.
I understand you're doing this for the village, and that you don't have a choice.
Pretty much, yeah. But look, why don't you go talk to Popola? I think she wanted to discuss the Shadowlord with you.
I'm headed there next. Oh, and Devola?
Yeah?
Sorry about yesterday. I shouldn't have lost my temper like that.
You don't need to apologize. Anyone would be upset when their friends are hurting. Let Emil and Kainé know that we're sorry, alright?
Alright.
Okay, I think we'll get the whole keystone thing rolling, and then I will call it here. Because we don't really have enough time to go grab the lost shrine fragment. It would cause me to run overtime, and I'd rather not do that. So I'll just talk to Popola and then call it early, I think. Yoo-hoo!
Popola?
Oh, hello.
Look, I want to apologize for
Stop. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but neither did you. You're just trying to protect the villagers. And I jumped down your throat for it.
It's very kind of you to say so. Regardless, please don't let it trouble you.
Ahem. I believe there was something you wished to discuss with us.
Oh, right. Yes, about that. You know about the lost shrine, right?
The temple where I was first discovered.
That's it. Well, it seems that the Shadowlord's lair is connected to it somehow.
Why was that line suddenly way quieter?
Oh, it was right under our pages the whole time.
I don't think that was intentional.
But the bridge that leads there is unusable.
So, take a boat.
A boat?
Yes. The canal's finally been repaired. It took a lot longer than expected, what with the shades and all. I also asked them to provide a boat at the path to the Lost Shrine's back entrance. The ferryman will let you use it free of charge. That should make it easier for you to move from town to town.
Thanks, Popola. I feel like you've done so much for me. I'm really grateful. Alright, I'll see you around.
And for the love of everything, be careful.
That's rich coming from you, Popola. Just saying. December 6th. Nier brought a chick home with him. It makes little chirps and follows me around, and it's just the cutest thing ever.
The path above the entrance to the shopping district should lead to the boat landing.
Yes, I know. But we're not doing that right now.
How excellent to know the canal is finished. Hopefully this puts our days of running all over behind us.
The faster we can move, the faster we can save Yona.
Indeed.
Let's use it as often as we need.
Alright, I'm gonna call it here for today. Be careful! Like, yeah, thanks, Popola. I appreciate the hot tip. I'll try to do that, you jerk. Anyway, I'm gonna call it here. Thanks for watching, you Fufu, I appreciate it. And thanks to you VOD watchers as well. I know we don't get many of those, but I upload them anyways. Gotta have something on my channel besides Echo videos. Anywho, I'll see everybody same time on Wednesday. And until then, stay safe out there. Bye!